the hot topic on my mind currently coming through is that religion is a tough topic. There's a lot of people that don't like religion, and it's a very off-putting thing. So understand that I'm not supporting religion, but there are ways to be positive, and there are aspects to pick gold out of gold elements out of everything. There's a way to find beauty in all things, or in part of a thing, and then you don't want the other part, which is the bad part. So you keep the good part, you get rid of the bad part. That's what I've been doing my whole life. So a lot of people are saying that God isn't real right now. That's a fad going on for sure. That's a modern concept that a lot of people are saying, believe in science, believe in space, believe blah, 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 blah. So if you believe in science, you can't believe in God, because God has an association with religion, and religion has an association with brainwashing and controlling people, which is really unhealthy and not good. So is it healthy to believe in God? Must I belong, be a part, or even associate as a person of a religion to believe in God? Santa Claus, you really don't, maybe where you grow up, but Santa Claus doesn't require a religion to believe in it. Maybe it does. However, if I were not to believe in God, and I was to credit myself with absolute all intelligence and all my abilities, humility and humbleness, being humble, those two qualities and aspects of my core character, they would eventually vanish. Time and events and my mind would change, and I would be very full of myself. That's not that's not how I want to be in life. And so, it's not very good. It's not very healthy to the environment of people around me. But if I have a belief in God and I accredit particular gifts or abilities to a king or to a spiritual savior, not even associated, but a spiritual savior of some sort, an angel or whatever else, or some other type of entity that exists in people's minds and exists in reality somewhere else, that's definitely debatable, of being existent. But by having belief and having and attributing such abilities and wisdom to not just myself, but a combination of myself and another's influence that's guiding and molding and crafting me to be something really of brilliant goodness, to say it with the most humble attitude, would be that creates humility within me and humbleness. That makes me think that, I'm not all, it's not just me. So by it not just being me, I'm able to connect, I'm able to realize, I'm able to associate with much, much, much more in life, and that includes everybody that I interact with. It allows me to stay positive minded and to stay focused that if I cannot do them good, then I might as well simply not be in their company. Because I have a belief that vengeance isn't needed. Because karma exists. Karma exists, and everybody will answer for what they do. And it seems like some people never do, but those people are great actors, because behind the scenes, when they put their head down at night, There's a lot of bad thoughts, and there's a lot of things that haunt their transition from awakeness to going to sleep. And it hits them because they suppress it all day long. And if you suppress anything long enough, it's going to change you without you knowing. And that's a dangerous area to be in life. And I'd rather avoid all of those things and have the concept of God be a possibility. But that's also when we can bring in and talk about Coco Law, and allowing Coco Law, the belief of the concept of Coco Law, extends that I believe in God, and I believe whatever your concept of God is. I believe if your concept of God is no God, I believe that's accurate. But how can I believe in two contradicting things? See, in the Bible, love believes all things. And I'm sorry I go back to it, but it's real short. It says love believes all things. Not some things. It says all things. Things include life. Everything is a thing. If it exists, it's a thing. So love believes all things. Everything, essentially. So how can I believe in two contradicting things of the same topic? Well, let me put it this way. If I believe that God exists over here, and I believe that God doesn't exist over here, well, hold on, it's not my belief, but I believe that they're accurate. They're accurate because they only have one view of many. And I accept all views because all concepts and all realities have an impact upon my reality. And I have to sift and go through and make sure and say, hey, here's everything that I know, and these three things definitely don't fit. They don't line up. There's not a 1, 2, 3 order of it. It skips rotation. It just doesn't make any sense. So that element comes out because it's highly questionable. And when it comes out and everything fits, okay, good. And whenever we need to understand it later, guess what? If that information is completely irrelevant, good. Boop, it goes away. And if that information was important and had an effect where we didn't see it having an effect, or an understanding where we didn't conceptualize an understanding, then we still have it, and we can bring it back in and fit it into the formula and go, okay, this reasons in life that Johnny hit Susie, but Susie was upset at Ricky because it gets complicated in life, and we're taking the non-complicatedness out of the equation. Coco Law. If you don't want to believe in God, and you want to go through life like that, that's fine. But I might extend you a little bit extra love when I meet you, because I'm going to identify that. Whether I can verbalize it mentally, cognitively, in that moment, recognize it is a whole nother concept. But within my subconscious, that inner life, that being guides me because they know more than I know, and I trust them. And not everybody should just simply trust that inner thought or that inner voice, or however you may conceptualize your personal ideas. Because if you're not trained, and if you're not gone through training, you could follow the wrong voice. You could follow the wrong ideas. This is a journey that I've been on for more than 30 years. Super active for the past 10 years. So don't just follow your ideas, because a lot of this, when I grew up, I had ideas and they would scare me. I would be like, this isn't stuff I should think about. Like, why am I thinking about it? And I wouldn't tell anybody because I was always afraid. And what somebody might say about me. But I was real careful to always act good. and always do something that was loving and kind as much as I could. We all have moments where we lose our temper and whatnot, so I'm nowhere like just always good or anything, but for the majority of my life, I've always tried to do good and not to hurt. Uh, I'm not a vengeful person, but these crazy weird ideas come into my head. And it doesn't mean it doesn't mean, if this happens to you, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. That doesn't mean that's who you are, and that doesn't mean that's what you have to listen to, and that's what you have to do. Just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean it's the cool thing to do. Or the good thing to do. Just because everybody is now not believing in God because religion was so bad. I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, 28 years, 27 years, brainwashed as a Jehovah's Witness. I was outside the box, but I was inside the box. It's a long story, but I was heavily associated there. So, and that was a thing. But now, a lot of people are seeing the bad that they've done. Okay, yeah, there's always bad apples in the bunch. That doesn't mean that the whole tree is bad. And right now it seems like a lot of people are looking at those few bad apples and they're like, burn the forest down, we have to get rid of all of it. There's a balance. There's a balance, and without some sort of set of principles, without some sort of academic training, alright, I say academic training because being a Jehovah's Witness was like academic training. It was like college. People talk about going to college, and it was like going to college to study and all of that stuff. And so, when my life went south and everything sucked, I had that training to fall back on. I had a mentality and some principles to live by so that I could improve my life and do it with as least casualties. And when I say casualties, I mean with as least frustration and anger and upsetness. So that's a hard thing to do, navigating people around you. Are they interested in truly helping you, or are they playing some game or scheme to take advantage of you? Just like a movie, someone in a movie you've seen. Who knows these things? And that's one thing that I've been studying for a long time and have written my own book, but the book needs to be, it's in its process of being rewritten, so I'm not advocating to buy it or even read it at this moment. But people are going to grow up without principles and without belief in magic. They're going to believe in Disney. And Disney's awesome because they believe in magic. And magic is real. But it's not the person at the top that has to have it. And this was another concept and idea, is that, religion, they did it wrong. They set a core group at the top, and the core group, these people, they held onto their power and they shared little with individuals. You see, a religion doesn't need to be run like that, or religion's a bad word. We need a new word, a spiritual place of assistance, but where you come and everybody's an equal. See, invitations limited, equality within everyone as each person comes. And in that way, it's free to go, it's free to stay, it's free to profit, it's free to work. It's free to do whatever you want to do as far as it is in the interest of love. If you are following interest in being a jerk and ugly and spiteful and hurtful and vengeful and rude and ugly and malicious, then you know what? There's plenty of groups in the world to go and join otherwise. But you know what? I grew up as a Toys R Us kid. I am still that kid. Mr. Rogers, Reading Rainbow. We were a generation of children where the highlight was to inspire, help, and assist and empower these children to be wise and make smart decisions. And Bill Nye the Science Guy, you know, these things shaped and molded a generation of us, and we don't fit into millennial or whatever the freaking generational grouping that they have listed. We are a separate group, man. When Ninja Turtles just first hit the TV screen, oh man, we grew up in a different age, and we need that age back. We need it back. We need belief. We need faith. We need spiritualism. We need craftiness. We need people creating magic out their fingertips. Because whatever we create is magical. Mathematical application generating incarnate creativity kinetically.